there any women out there with good losing virginity stories? I'd love to meet one. I say losing virginity stories, first of all, because I don't even believe that's a thing. What does that even mean? And I'm going to get into my awful virginity pop cherry blah story in a minute, because it was ridiculous. But before I get into that, like, seriously, is this what losing virginity? Because what if you don't like this, right? Like, what does it even mean? And like, what if someone fingered me? Because that's something going in there, right? Like, what about survivors of childhood SA, like me? But is that my virginity story? Like, I don't even believe it. It's like complete, it's not even real, this thing. Losing virginity, saving myself. Saving what? Right? Like, and if it comes to like actually having an O and enjoying it, well, that didn't happen until I was 36. And that's because that person focused on that, taking care of that, eating that. So anyway, whatever. I hate the whole conversation around it, but I was thinking about today because I'm like, I know that most people probably don't have an amazing, like, official first time story or whatever. But I honestly don't know if I know any women who have like one that's not like traumatizing or just like degrading, or, you know, at the very least, like, I don't know any woman who enjoyed it. Okay, I'll stick with that. Who just enjoyed it, like where it wasn't like painful, or I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they exist. I would love to know. But if you know what I'm talking about, then also please feel free to share, because I I lost my virginity while I was working a split shift at Backyard Burger. You know, I was working the window, you know, the drive-through window at Backyard Burger in Nashville. And I only was working there because they paid a little bit better than Piggly Wiggly where I worked before. Anyway, I remember thinking like, I should just get this over with. You know, like I literally lost my virginity because I was like, well, it's gotta happen sooner or later. Might as well just get it over with. And so I was at work. I was working a mid shift, which is one of those dumb shifts where you work like, I don't even know, what, like 10 to 2, and then you have like a 3-hour break, and then you have to go back. So it's not even like a double. It's like a regular shift, but split with like a 3-hour break in the middle, which is, I can't even believe those exist. But my boyfriend at the time, who is currently serving, he just got out of prison, 10 years of prison, and is already back because he just ripping people off still. I've already talked about that dude. He's this entitled rich prick who's in prison for a Ponzi scheme, basically. But anyway, he also lied about his grandma being the person who inspired Betty Boop, who literally convinced all, because we didn't have Google back then. We're like, okay, we all just believed it. And then I just looked it up the other day and I was like, what? God, this man will just lie about anything. Anyway, he came through my drive-through window, and I'm wearing my little Backyard Burgers visor and my thing and my whatever. And he got like a burger or whatever. And I was like, what are you doing today? He's like, nothing. And I was like, you want to like do it? I don't know exactly what I said. We were like, whoa. So on my break, I went over to his grandparents' house because that's where he was hanging out because they were out of town or something. And they live close by. So yeah, we started making out in the living room couch to Neil Diamond's Mirror Ball playing. I will never like that song because of this. And then we went into like a spare bedroom, but it was like a grandparents' house, you know? So like stuff is like blue, you know, like pastel. I just remember that the bedroom, it was like, these are like rich people, but it was like ugly grandparent colors, you know? And he was pretty hung, unfortunately. No, of course, there's no lubrication, no foreplay, no nothing. And I'm just like, this fucking sucks. Like the whole time I'm like, just totally disassociate. Looking at the wallpaper, the gold wall, you know, like that's what I do. That's what I did for most of my schmeg's life until I really dealt with a lot of trauma. Is like, I'm just hanging out in the corner, just, you know, looking at stuff in the room. Have fun, buddy. You're here by yourself. Anyway, then we were done. And I went back to work. and I waddled around Backyard Burgers, sliding around with the grease on the floor and the ew, ew, ew of the fry machine every time the waffle fries were done. Their waffle fries really good. And I just kept serving milkshakes and, whatever. And I just remember feeling like I'd been stung by a jellyfish in my crotch, It was painful, but it was stinging. And now that I know a little bit more about pH levels and stuff, I'm probably this dude cheated on me. This is the guy who cheated on me while I was on house arrest. I was on house arrest for a whole summer before my senior year of high school for this. While I was on house arrest, he went to the farm, some big hippie commune, and cheated with a bunch of women. This man probably... I can't believe I haven't had a lot of STIs from all of the lying men in my life. But anyway, that was the beginning of me having awful schmegs until I was in my late 30s. I might as well not even done that. It was a complete waste of time. It was painful. And I just remember being like, why do people do this? What is this? And for the next 20 years, men just basically use my vagina as their makeshift hand, just walking off with my vagina. But when I think about it, I was that's not a traumatizing story, but it sucked. And it started a whole era of schmegs that sucks, I might as well just held out. What was the point? But whatever, no regrets. But, I asked my husband today because I was was your first time experience awful? Or was it with, a girlfriend or whatever? He was it was with his girlfriend at the time. And he's well, it was a little awkward because we don't really know what we're doing. But I'm God, is it? I know that most people probably don't enjoy the first time because they don't know what they're doing, maybe. But at least, maybe they feel seen or safe or something. But I don't know if I know any women, or maybe one of my friends in high school. But if they had a boyfriend they trusted. But I would just love to know, is this just the default that it always sucks the first time? Because it's so hard for women to find any men. If you're a cishet woman, or, if you are attracted to men, cishet men in particular, because they seem to be the worst in bed. Even in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond, it's hard to find a man who gives a crap about this and taking care of this, licking this, right? But a teenager or someone in, early 20s, have things changed? Or is this still how it is? Is the first time, which again, I don't even believe in, right? But is the official first time under heteronormative standards, or the first time, I don't even know. Is it anything but trauma, or anything but degrading, or anything but what the hell was that? That sucked for any women who hook up with men? Or am I just really pessimistic? I would love to know. I would love to hear any story of a woman who actually enjoyed this. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am just a cynical old hag. But I kind of think maybe not.